So first off, guys, I want to say Red Faction is back. The original Red Faction was one of my favorite games at the time. It was one of the first games where you could blow everything up. Heck, you could even tunnel your way around doors that were locked, which was unheard of in games at the time. Red Faction Armageddon goes ahead and takes the destructiveness of the game and makes it more effective. By this I mean, not every environment is destructible, but the ones that are pretty key. You have to destroy certain environments in this game to continue on, and it's part of the gameplay. Other stuff is just there that you can blow up, and you actually earn credits for blowing up stuff in this game and destroying buildings and structures. So unlike most games where you get penalized for blowing up somebody's house, in this one you actually earn points, and this goes towards upgrading your character. I found this allows you to do what you want in the game and not be penalized at all, and that makes the game a lot more fun than if you had to watch what you were doing. Also, the game has a rebuild ability, so you don't have to worry about destroying something that you need to continue on during the game. So you can just go ahead and nuke some monsters, and if you blow up the whole building, you can actually sit there and just rebuild it all, and then you can continue on. So you don't have to be wary of any of this stuff. The story in Red Faction is pretty basic. You have a good guy who's Darius Mason. This is your character. Then you have the bad guy who's Hale, who's a cult leader who wants to go ahead and, to be honest, you don't really know what his real motives are, but apparently he really hates the Mason family, and he's really got it out for you, and he kind of wants to kill everybody. So of course he's got to die, and you have to take him out. Obviously there's a lot of plot twists and stuff in here, but for the most part it's pretty straightforward. That's because Red Faction isn't geared towards story, it's more about the gameplay, and the game does a good job of giving you a variety of ways to play the game. First off, you get a ton of different weapons. A lot of them are really cool. If you checked out our preview, I demoed a good bit of them for you. There's a few other weapons that are pretty standard that were not in the demo, such as a shotgun, rocket launcher, dual-wielding pistols, stuff like that. A lot of the really cool stuff I've already covered, so I recommend checking out our preview for more details on that. The game also varies up the gameplay by giving you different vehicles to use in this. You have different types of walkers and tanks and mechs and all sorts of cool stuff to go ahead and take down enemy hordes. The mech sequences are by far the most fun in my opinion. You just walk around and smash the heck out of everything. At one point you go through the prison in the game and nothing can stop you. If there's a wall or something you don't think you could fit through and you're like, oh man, I gotta get out of my mech. You gotta remember, this is Red Faction. You could just destroy whatever's in your way. So you can keep going. The game does give you long sequences in these machines if you want to use them that way. Since you're not all that powerful by yourself, you're just a regular guy with a lot of guns, you do have your nanoforge, which does help you defend yourself. You can build shields around your guy, you can rebuild your cover, but for the most part, you are just a normal dude, so getting into these giant hulking machines and just blowing stuff up every once in a while really gives you that sense of vengeance that you've been wanting for a while. Don't let the simplistic nature of the gameplay really dissuade you from playing this game. The game itself is a lot of fun. If you're a hardcore shooter fan, if you've been playing shooter games since the mid-90s or even earlier, you're going to recognize that they did not try to reinvent the wheel here. They went ahead and gave you some cool upgrade systems, a lot of cool weapons, and basically said, here you go, here's some bad guys, have your fun with it. The enemies in the game are pretty cool. The aliens will jump on walls, and they're very hard to hit. So you do have to really know your environment, where you are, and really plan out how to kill them a lot of the times, because they'll be jumping all around you and can swarm you very quickly if you don't prepare. So you do have to be on point. So even though it's simple in theory, in practice it gets pretty complex. And of course there are some big hulking giant alien monsters that will show up, and when you're not looking, if you're checking the ceilings for the crawlers, they will come up and smash you, and that's just not fun. So you do have to keep a lot of things in mind when you're in combat. Overall, I very much enjoyed this game. As I said, this is more geared towards hardcore shooter fans. If you're more interested in more realistic shooters, such as the Battlefield series, Rainbow Six, Ghost Recon, Operation Flashpoint, stuff like that, this game's probably not going to be for you. But if you enjoy blowing the heck out of alien hordes, such as like Halo and stuff like that, if those are the type of games that you like to play, you will very much enjoy this. If you're a Gears of War fan and you're seeing the third-person action, it's similar, but there is no cover system in this game. You're more relied on using your nanoforge to go ahead and make your own cover or rebuild cover. So it's a little bit different in that aspect. But if you're a Gears fan, you'll probably like this game too. I would strongly recommend this to any one of my friends who I know like a good shooter game. And the end of the game, you do get yourself a nice little treat. I'm not going to ruin anything too much, but there is a big boss fight. But there's a little something extra after that that I found more enjoyable. I think they ended this game very, very well. And once the credits are done, you get to unlock the Mr. Toots weapon. If you check out our website at www.gamersarmada.com, you can go ahead and check out the preview on Mr. Toots and the YouTube video behind that. And that's a very, very interesting weapon to check out. Alrighty guys, I hope you enjoyed this review, and I hope you enjoyed the game. And let us know what you think on our website. We hope to see you there.